Let's take a moment to talk about the best things to do when bored. Of course, there's a lot of scope there, so this could take a while. But please bear with us, because there are some fantastic ideas on this list, which you will not want to miss. First, what does it mean to be bored? We live in an age where being trapped at home has become the standard. It's not that easy to meet up with friends or book a quick weekend getaway when things get a bit stressful. As a result, our homes have become not only our castles but, for many, our prisons. The simple answer is no. However, there is a huge array of things you could do to occupy yourself when the familiar pangs of boredom start to scratch at the far corners of your mind. There may be many of you reading this out of curiosity wondering, how can you be bored? Life is too hectic to be bored. Well, that is very true. However, I stand to the belief that you can be busy and still be bored. By this, I mean you can be running around chasing your tail all day long, running errands, or jumping from meeting to meeting, but that doesn't mean you are mentally stimulated. Boredom counts when talking about mental health. We will break down the different areas and places that boredom can creep in. At home, in public, in the workplace, etc. People talk a lot about focus and motivation and other positivity-inducing points. We also talk a lot about mental health. In particular, we are more woke when it comes to understanding and accepting depression and anxiety. However, not enough time is spent discussing the effects of boredom on the soul. That may sound deep, but don't worry, this will not be some internal evaluation of our minds. No recollection of childhood trauma is required to read this post. All I mean to say is that boredom is not just something that is there. Boredom seeps into the mind and can take over, in a way similar to depression and other such mental health concerns. Try this at home: 10 things to do when bored alone. Onwards with the top 10 things you can do when bored by yourself. 1. Watch a movie. While this may sound like a bit of a dud, but often, you can offset the early stages of boredom by giving your mind something engaging to do. For example, watching a movie is a great way to pass the time and gently change things up a little. That simple shock to the system can be enough to beat back the lurking shadow of boredom. Then, of course, you can always take it one step further and change up your regular viewing. If you're a horror lover, why not take a chance on a rom-com or a period drama? If documentaries are your thing, maybe a good action film or a psychological thriller will help you break the funk of impending boredom and get you safely through another day. With streaming services such as Netflix, Amazon Prime, Shudder, and all of the different cable networks and their associated smart TV apps, you are never more than a few button presses away from a good movie. 2. Read a book. If watching movies is your usual way to pass the time, this can likely wear thin after a while. Boredom attacks the hobbies we love the most and turns them into torrid affairs that make us lose all hope. Or, perhaps you've just gone through every single film and series Netflix has to offer and can already unravel the entire plot of something based on the blurb. You could even be one of those people who just doesn't really like TV. Reading is great for looking at things to do when bored alone. Because books sweep you up and away into the world created on the page. Whether you're crawling into the life of a famous figure as you read their biography, hiding in the skin of the poor main character in a Stephen King novel, or chasing adventure with Jack Reacher, there is no end to the level of escapism offered by a good book. 3. Take a walk. If you are one of the many people who have taken to working from home full-time, the initial burst of euphoria at not having to get dressed or suffer a commute each morning may have lost some of its luster. Taking a walk is a fantastic way to stave off boredom. It also gets you out in the fresh air. There are immeasurable health benefits to getting up from behind your desk and taking a walk. Come rain or shine, there is always somewhere to wander and something to see while doing it. Walking is also a great way to clear your mind and work through your problems. I can't count the number of times I've been struggling with an article and just left my desk and taken a stroll. Something about the peace and space of the great outdoors clears the mind and lets the swirling torrent of thoughts settle. 4. Try writing a story. You don't need to be a poet or an expert in literature to try your hand at writing. So if you're struggling to find things to do when bored, Why not grab a pen and paper and try your hand at writing a short story? It doesn't even have to make sense. If anything, free writing is a great exercise and a way to spark your mind and push back those pangs of boredom. 5. Hit the gym. If boredom has become a regular part of your daily routine, why not brush the dust off your trainers and head down to the gym? If you're like me, the odds are there is at least one membership currently running that you've all but forgotten about. The great thing about hitting the gym is the knock-on effects that it can have. Getting in shape helps you look better, feel better, and generally be better. This means you're less likely to feel bored during the times when you're not working out. 6. Go back to an old hobby. So many of these posts, including this one, will talk about finding new things to do to help fight off boredom. It's excellent advice. It really is. Picking up a hobby you used to be all in on can be refreshing, and exactly what you need to break the chains of boredom. Not to mention, you won't be coming in as a complete newbie, so you can likely skip those early new started nerves that can be so off-putting. 7. Get those green thumbs dirty. Regardless of where you live or the time of year, there is always a chance to get your hands dirty in the garden. Whether you're preparing the flower beds for next year, weeding or planting the borders, hanging baskets, or indeed succulents, gardening is a wonderful boredom-busting hobby. If flowers aren't your thing, maybe growing some of your own fruits or vegetables holds some appeal. With square foot and vertical gardening now a thing, there is no reason you can at least give it a go. If you're truly as bored as your mind is telling you, this could be exactly what you need. It's also an educational experience to plant, grow, and later eat your own homegrown food. 8. A story of seasons. Spring cleaning. Just because the season is in the name, it doesn't mean that you need to wait for it to come around before you get on with a bit of spring cleaning. What could be more productive and motivating than decluttering your home when looking for things to do when bored and home alone? Whether you decide to go through your wardrobe and get rid of everything you've been hoarding all those years, the jeans you're waiting to lose weight to fit into, or the t-shirts that used to fit before your lockdown weight gain began, all of this can be tidied up, decluttered, and either discarded or donated to a worthy cause. 9. Take a nap. This one sounds too simple to be true, but taking a nap can be a fantastic way to shake off the shackles of boredom. If you're just sitting around, twiddling your thumbs with nothing to do, close your eyes and grab 40 winks. It's not so much the act of napping that works. Not is it a case of saying, I'm sleeping, so don't know I'm bored. It's really about the refreshing impact of the nap itself. 10. Get your hands dirty with a bit of D. We've all got that one room we've been meaning to paint for years. That shelving unit in a box waiting to be put together and a wonky cupboard door that just needs a quick adjustment. That feeling of accomplishment and the knowledge that you've done it. You made the improvement. It has a powerful, almost intoxicating effect on the mind. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos.